So funny enough, G Money.
Tell me now.
Your old school song of the day.
Yes, sir.
Was Mr. Morgan.
Yes, sir.
Classic song.
Yes, sir. Ring the bell again.
You mentioned father of the iconic Morgan Heritage family.
True.
Funny enough, who's in the building with us right now?
You don't.
His Pickney them.
His Pickney them.
His Pickney them in the building.
That's tough.
Morgan Heritage is joining us today, ladies and gentlemen. Special surprise for y'all today.
Special guest in the building. Long time no see.
It's been
so long.
Hey man, we just came to St. Kitts Music Festival. What a jive!
What?
I saw pictures of Outcast in the hallway. That's how nice of the people. You made people feel at home.
That's what I was trying to do.
You did it. And then also, me and G Money I saw this picture one photographer took. I said, this guy's a great looking guy. I sent it to you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
That's a great picture.
You said like 3 of them. I was like, wow.
That's a great picture. Yeah. These are memories because are we getting older? The gray hairs are coming, you know.
And you got a good photographer.
Yeah, and I'm like.
I saw some great pictures on you on stage for St. Kitts Music Festival.
Oh, yeah, it was
amazing pictures.
Nice vibe. Nice vibe.
You had some great pictures. Yeah. So what's going on, bro?
Oh, we just passing through, and Mojo said, yo, we got to make a stop. And him and Tafa cooking it up. We just came from Belize. Byron Messiah.
Spice. Busy Signal.
Big Show.
Big Show.
And we was in Guyana with our brother Stoneboy, who's on the new album, The Homeland. So that's what we're here to talk about.
Shout out to the new album.
Yes, sir. The Homeland.
The Homeland.
Yeah.
I'm loving the album, by the way.
Yeah,
it's been on repeat in my truck for a minute now.
We got
to get it on repeat on Lasers.
Yeah.
So what inspired that?
It's a vibe where just our traveling throughout Africa throughout the years and just meeting all these different African artists, and it's like, okay, what do we do when we leave here? You come here, do a great show. It's connecting with the artists, and we kind of make that our duty. Go to Zimbabwe, find the hottest artists locally. Go to Ghana, say, yo, who's the man here? Who's doing good things? All right, who has the potential? So it's doing that work as a Rastafarian that we always talk about Africa for many years, but what have we done? So, you know, Mojo kind of just been the brain master behind this project with the label and with the artists, you know, linking Popcorn with, you know, Mr. Killer from out of Grenada. We're doing things that we never did before. And, okay, how many times can you make a great record? But how many times can you make a different great record?
To innovate.
Right? Yeah.
To innovate, right.
Yeah, man. True. So it's been a jive, man. Mojo kind of like, I mean, Mojo discovered some artists on this album. I was like, which artist?
Yeah, like Flo the Great. S. Villa from South Africa, Flo the Great from South Africa, Otili Brown from Kenya, Eddie Kenzo, who met Gramps on the red carpet at the Grammys, from Uganda, as well as our brother Jose Chameleon, who's been on several collaborations. RJ the DJ, who is like the DJ Khaled of Tanzania. He's diamond, he's diamond platinum DJ. Yeah, big DJ, man.
Meet that guy,
and you know, of course, names like the Kuti family. You know, Fela Kuti, the great pioneer of Afrobeats.
Of
his grandson is on the album. Son of Femi Kuti. His name is Madi Kuti. He's on the album. Amazing musician. His last album, he played every instrument like how Stevie Wonder did on that album in the 70s. Talent. Yeah, man, incredible talent coming out of the continent. Shatta Wale. So the whole concept is about working with legends and future legends. So when you work with a Youssou N'Dour from Senegal and a Alpha Blondy from Ivory Coast, and then you come now and you work with a Shatta Wale and a Stone Boy, you're bridging the generational gap while maintaining the cultural exchange bridge between Jamaica and the Caribbean. And we did Jamaica and Africa, and the Caribbean for that matter. And then we're coming at the Caribbean and we say, Mr. Killer, big up Caribbean Entertainment for making that happen. You understand? And we got so Papi, but then we also got Bounty, Beanie, Capleton, Shaggy, Baby Sham, all on one album. Like, you guys are gonna love
crazy.
The crossovers on this is ridiculous.
Man, if you listen to Who They Like You with Bounty Killer on his first Afrobeats track, it's insane. Featuring Baby Sham and Stone Boy as well on that one. Amazing song. And then we stayed true to the core with tune like Just a Number that addresses the reality of where we are now in society. You know, this cancel culture and all that stuff where, you know, as entertainers, we have to have a sense of responsibility. It's not about being a role model, but it's about being accountable for your actions and understand that people are very sensitive today. This is not 1975. You know, we're going towards 2025, and people just don't have the capacity to be lenient and be compassionate. It's gone. Compassion within humanity is gone. You know, everybody is just so overly sensitive, and you're not going to change that. So don't try. Accept it, adjust to it, and keep moving.
When it comes to production, how'd you guys, you know, because you got so many different artists on the album. So
it was a collaborative effort with youths like, we talk about Just a Number. That's the son of Fatis. You remember I used to manage Sizzla,
right?
Luciano. And he passed away, and the legacy is carrying on by his son, Kareem Remus Burrell. So he's on the album producing that song. But we work with people from Nigeria, producers from Nigeria, producers from Tanzania. We mentioned RJ the DJ, producers from Zimbabwe. And another producer from Zimbabwe came on, only produced like 4 songs. But what he contributed to all the other songs on the album, he became our co-producer of the entire album. Because, you know, when you work on an album for 3-4 years, sounds can be outdated.
That's how long it took?
Yeah, man. I mean,
really?
We're talking about featuring over 30 artists.
Artists, yes.
Over 30 artists on the album. We're featuring artists from across 11 countries in Africa. I mean, Tidal described it as the modern day Graceland, what Paul Simon did.
Okay, what Paul Simon,
yeah. So to walk in those shoes, to be able to achieve such a body of work is nothing short of amazing, and we're grateful.
And when it debuted, it was what, #1 on iTunes?
Yeah,
in over 20 countries. It's our first global music album. It's our first world music album.
So it's not considered a reggae album.
It's not a reggae album.
World album.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, when you see you get on a reggae track, because there's still some reggae songs on there. But first time we ever worked with Alpha Blonde, you know, which is an African reggae artist. People don't realize that there's reggae artists that are different nationalities, you know, hence, you know, Pressure Bus Pipe. You got a South Korean reggae band. You got a Filipino reggae band. There's reggae artists from
Chinese reggae band.
Chinese reggae band.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the reggae has gone beyond the shores of Jamaica. So to have Kia Putan and Alpha Blonde and Margaret on one record, it's like, this is a dream record for us. Just it's different.
So when the record is nominated for a Grammy, which category are we going in? Which category?
When we submit it, it'll be world music.
It'll be global music. Yeah, it's called the global music category, global music performance. And there's a new one that came out the other day that we co-signed, called the African music performance. So the goal is to highlight these monster influential genres of music. That's what the Recording Academy is on, under the guidance of Harvey Mason Jr. And you know, you never know, maybe we're gonna get a dancehall category soon, which is rightfully deserved.
Hopefully,
because the dancehall genre, they're not album driven.
No, that's
right?
More single driven.
They're more single driven.
More single driven.
So we need, and like I told them, it's got to be bigger than dancehall. It has to be all inclusive of Caribbean.
Agreed.
Because where does soca fall into play?
Like, you know,
that's something that deserves its own category.
Hello. But if we at least make a step in the right direction and say Caribbean, now it's all encompassing. We can put Zouk in there. We can put Calypso. We can put Soca. We can put dancehall.
Right.
And reggae can still get a little taste of the pie.
That's true. With all these artists that you guys have on this album, some artists that you guys discovered that no one knew about, are you guys thinking about maybe doing your own label with your own art? Taking some of these
we have
artists?
our own label already, CTBC Music Group, since 2015. 15. And we've been putting out a bunch of work. Even upon doing this album, we discovered Ken Booth's daughter.
Say what now?
Ken Booth's granddaughter.
Yes.
You talk about Nicki Minaj, that vibe. Ken Booth's daughter. Remember I told y'all now on Laser 101, G Money, Outkast. You can thank me later. This girl, she does battle rap. So she's battling dudes,
Ken Booth's granddaughter.
Yeah, her name is Chrissy Yamaguchi. She's featured on a song called Heaven with an upcoming artist by the name of Pharaohs from Nigeria. And we were in the studio with our boy, big up our boy Danger Mental in Brooklyn. We just was kicking it, and he was like, yo, check out this girl.
Insane, man.
And we're in the final stages of the album, and I'm talking about less than 4 weeks out before the album comes out.
And she made the album.
Really?
She beasted it.
Yo, I'm talking rah, like I tell you, like Brooklyn,
And she's
Harlem.
sexy. Like, she looked like Beyonce.
She looked just like Beyonce.
It was like, where have you been hiding?
Wow.
No way.
A dime.
She's street. I mean,
Certified.
This girl like got a tape, like been arrested, like street, man. I tell you.
Wow.
But her flow, Chrissy Yamaguchi, man. I tell you, bad rapper. And just to know that that's of Jamaican descendants, the same way, you know, you got Busta Rhymes, Jamaican, like Busta's on his Caribbean vibe right now.
Yes.
He's just loving that thing,
Right.
right? Just embracing it. Biggie Smalls was of Caribbean descent. So
Right.
it's a thing. And of course, Nicki Minaj always representing Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
So it's a thing. And of course, you got Cardi B, half Trinidadian and half Dominican.
Right.
Is a thing where I think black people is having a thing where there's a resurgence of the artistry of the music. So Chrissy Yamaguchi is that one that we claiming.
Yeah, I see her right here. Yeah, she's very popular.
I seen Mojo when we was in the studio. Mojo's like, she started rapping, but remember, she battled dudes.
Right.
Like, I'm talking battle rap.
Yeah, she's
like,
a battle rapper.
And she was down there and she was like, yo, spit something. We was in the basement, was at the dub studio. And we said, yo, spit something. And she started going, nigga, one of the best. And just the look on her face, Miss Mojo go like this.
And you know what they did, right?
Whoa.
I'm the quote-unquote rapper in Morgan Heritage. I'm like,
Get her, Mojo.
and I respect the art form. Coming up as a kid, my brother Lazar from LMS, the other group in the family, he knew how to freestyle off the rip.
Right.
I didn't have that gift. I'm a writer. I could write with the best of them.
I feel you.
But that part of the craft, I respected too much to say, yo, I'm a rapper. No. I can rhyme. And this girl's, they're trying to get me to battle her in the street. I'm like, are you guys smoking? What, can I have some of that? On a madman, nasa.
It's a killer. And just to have her on the Homeland album made us feel like, yeah, we got one early before she exploded. Yeah,
Chrissy Yamaguchi, that's KRISSYYAMAG Gucci, Gucci. So she's on Twitter and she's on Instagram. You can follow her.
She bad, man, I tell you. And just to know that she's of Caribbean in descent, we have to embrace her.
Dude, you said Ken Boot, dude. You said everything already as it is.
And their relationship
Legacy.
is incredible.
The legacy of that name alone says everything.
Yes, sir.
Ken Boots?
So you guys just finished with Belize, you said?
Welcome.
Belize.
Guyana.
And then Guyana was last night.
It was last night.
Yeah.
night.
So you finished Guyana, you decided to come St. Maarten.
Yes.
passing through.
First time I heard you do that again. That's the first time I heard you say
I
Martin.
can do what I want.
But we're headed to Tortola BVI
Oh, okay. That's what you guys
this
also
Friday, I think. This Friday.
They're independent.
Then we head to Jamaica. The government is honoring a few artists this year on Independence Day.
And you guys,
And we are
like a
in
lifetime
that.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
And then we finish off, another homecoming for us. The Reggae Sumfest was an amazing homecoming. Big up Downtown Entertainment and the whole crew, Joe and Scatter. But Brooklyn is where we end this run this summer.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Free
At
show,
home.
free concert in Brooklyn,
Where?
y'all.
Wingate Park on
Wingate-
August
Park,
8th.
that's in Queens.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Wingate, yeah, right where? And when
Born
is
and
it?
raised.
August when?
August 8th.
August 8th.
August 8th. Okay.
But you could keep up with all things Morgan Heritage at the website, morganheritagemusic.com, or follow us on social media at Morgan Heritage on this new thing called Threads, IG, Twitter, Facebook, wherever. TikTok, Morgan Heritage Official.
All right. So actually, that's going to be celebrating hip hop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
50
sir.
years of hip hop.
So
50 years of hip-hop,
Ralph
man.
McDaniels is going to be there.
Yeah.
Leah James, R&B singer. Oh, okay. This is a
Our
big-
dad is known to be one of the pioneers of hip hop. He was the first artist to have a rap that was a
R&B
mainstream record on an R&B
I
record.
just played it.
We just played it.
So nothing in the world that I won't do. I'll give the world to you if you want me to. I'll do anything. His man is ready.
I'm a
We
fool.
taking you on tour, G.
I do so many things. I was just telling Outcast before y'all came. I was like, that came out in 81, in the summer of 81. Living in New York City. That song was on every 15
station.
minutes. Every
Yeah,
10,
man.
15 minutes.
Yeah, man.
Every
Frankie
station.
Crocker, BLS. Thank
Playing
you.
out the window of every project window. That
Skating
song.
ring, barbecues.
That was the song of you. There was always like one song.
Till this
For
day,
a
it's
summer.
playing in those type of locations, backyard barbecues,
That was an 81 song.
skating rinks, and always the old school at noon across the country. No matter which DJ's on, we always Where we're in the middle of Colorado, we hear old school R&B. We're like, wait, that's Daddy on the radio?
And I never knew that was y'all pops. I knew you guys for years, and I never put the two and two together. I knew it was Denroy Morgan, but I never put the Morgans together.
Well, we didn't realize. I mean, the first time I realized personally how influential it was on the hip hop community, I was in the studio with Little Kim and her manager, and they was like, you know what your pop mean to us, right? I'm like, okay. No, well, break it down for me. And then they explained to me the historical representation that it has, or significance that it has within the hip hop culture.
Yeah, and because of that song, he got his reggae deal, his RCA deal.
RCA, correct. Right. First Jamaican to sign to a major label.
To a major label because of that, too. I was waiting for Outkast. I was like, this was big. I said, yo, this song was orca big.
Monster big. So 8 million.
I don't know about the West Coast, but I know the East Coast.
Yeah, East Coast. North Carolina, South Carolina, Atlanta, Alabama, Florida, Jacksonville, especially northern, that Orlando kind of
KTU, all the BLS,
Washington D.C. He was
everybody
big in the
played
BV.
that song.
Was it
man.
DMV?
Princess George's County, PG County. It was huge, but I never put the two together, and I was like, yo, that was my joint.
Yeah, back then they didn't have sound scan, and but when they were counting, it was at the time.
It was really counting.
But we got to say his name. Long live the Honorable Russ Denroy Morgan. Ascended a year ago, and still we're here carrying on that legacy today.
So y'all play that record for us, man. It mean a lot.
We just played before y'all walked in.
That was my old school song of the day.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't connect the dots because back then there wasn't social media and the whole website thing. So the branding was different. It was hardcore guerrilla marketing.
Right.
So people more was into the hit record as to the artist, the brand. People didn't get, it was like, I don't care his name. This is a jamming record. And that was the thing, especially in the clubs when DJs were DJing, they hardly would say, yo, check out this brand new one from Drake. They would just say, yo, check out this song. It's called I'll Do Anything For You. Boom. And then you got so lost in the record, you forgot the name of the artist.
Right. Yeah.
So today now you have social media where it's like, follow the blue check. And this is my website. And here.
Records with white labels.
Exactly.
So half of the time you don't even know the song. Some of them you don't know the name of the song, the name of the artist. You don't even know the label that came out. You just have the white records.
So image didn't influence the music back then.
No.
And now it's 90% of all this other stuff and 10% talent.
Right.
One hit wonders and just
a lot of that.
Speaking of talent, you guys have so many talents in your family. Like, what's coming out next? I know you guys have different projects from your son to this one. So what's coming out next?
Well,
or who should we
I'm
expect
excited
next?
about my son. He's taking not my son. Jameeri's always been there. Him and Outkast, y'all know Jameeri. And then my son named Priel has taken on the R&B vibe. I brought him to St. Kitts.
He did a very impressive piece during your set.
Yeah, the ladies were going crazy too.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, he's tall. He walked the same path as me because he was a football player and then walked away from a scholarship at Kansas State and said, Dad, I really want to do music.
Really?
Yeah,
he walked away from a scholarship.
Walked away from it. He was on campus and said, Dad, I was like, what are you doing? I was like, who am I to say anything? I did the exact same thing.
Right.
And I said, all right, so now he's going to school at Full Sail in Orlando and just taking it. He wants to be the best at doing what he does, not just saying, yo, I'm a jam. I said, if you're going to do it, be the best. Go take lessons. Go learn as much instruments as you can. Learn how to mix, master, and learn the craft. Learn the craft. And then you got Mojo's son, that's what I was alluding to first. Mojo's son, I was talking about in the car, and he's taking it like guerrilla style.
What's his name?
Esh Morgan. His group is called Esh and Sheaf.
He's there playing like these bars, these little bars around Central Florida and South Florida, like he's doing the beach boy kind of thing, and him and his boy with the shirt off, he's young, long dreadlocks, Lenny Kravitz,
really
like a modern day Simon and Garfunkel.
And I'm like,
two guys on a guitar harmonizing.
He's doing it like serious. He just booked 40 dates for himself. Like Mojo just told me, I'm like, wait a second, Mojo.
It's crazy. I opened the calendar this morning. I'm like, what is all these notifications? And I'm seeing date after date all the way through now to the end of the year, just working to become a hometown hero, developing his craft, honing in on what works and what doesn't work.
And where is he based?
Orlando. Yeah.
And it's a different vibe. It's not reggae. It's not dancehall. It's not zouk. It's like some
singer-songwriter, alternative music.
Alternative, yeah. I don't have a genre. Just it's music.
Yes,
good music is good music.
Exactly.
Just love it. Wicked acoustic guitar, so he can go anywhere. I remember when Lauryn Hill was just came back and was, went to her thing, and then she started playing shows and was hitting the promoters heavy for just she and the guitar.
Yeah.
But there's something special about doing something acoustic, and to see Mojo's son doing that,
catches you.
It's like, yeah, man, I might take it serious.
But these are the ones, like you talk about what's next, that has displayed the ability to put in the work. Because just because you're from a legacy, like we talk about the Marley children all the time, very dear friends of ours, family. They didn't rest upon the reputation or the legacy that their father built. They grinded on their own to make their own name, to carry on that legacy and build upon the foundation that was laid by the great Honorable Robert Nesta Marley. You get it? So when we see Priel and Jamiri, and Peter has, like, Raya, his son, who's on tour with us as a tech, but is a developing artist, amazing producer, produced on the album with us, you know what I mean? And his daughter is in Hong Kong. She stars in 3 to 4 different shows every day, the leading role. Wow. When she walks on the street, she's a superstar.
An actress, right?
She's a singer.
A singer.
Yeah, musical theater.
Musical theater.
Like Rihanna kind of singing.
Rihanna, I'm like serious, riffing with the best of them.
Wow.
So those are the kids that we really are proud of. Not that we're not proud of all of our kids, but when it comes to our craft and to see someone follow in our footsteps, it's the ones that shows the ability to put in the work.
Carrying on the family name.
Yeah. Definitely.
So where can people get the album? iTunes?
Everywhere, man.
Everywhere. Download it, stream it. Audio Mac, big in the Caribbean right now. Big up our boys over there, Ponte and Tanya and everybody. And you know the usual suspects. Apple.
Spotify.
iTunes,
a lot of people ain't printing CDs now. You know that, right, G Money?
But vinyl's coming back, though.
The vinyl's coming back.
We haven't even done physical.
We haven't
for
even
this
did
yet.
physical for this album.
It's coming probably for the holidays. We'll do CDs and
So
vinyl.
you haven't touched physical yet?
We haven't even touched it. All the success is all digital. It's a new era, and we have to figure it out.
Like,
we have to figure it out.
You don't see that as much anymore. Like people printing physical copies.
Nah,
Everything is now
it's a
digital.
collector's item. Where you go on the artist's website and buy it. You ain't walking into Target buying CDs.
Right.
Not the younger generation.
Right.
That's more of an adult contemporary fan base. And we, being around for 25 plus years, we have both.
Yeah.
You know, we're developing
I'll never
a new
forget
fan base.
when Mojo called me, and just to show you that you have, it's like Isley Brothers. They found a way to reinvent themselves
every 10 years.
Yeah.
Right.
They had a record.
True.
And every artist we say in Jamaica, like we've been around since 1994. When we were signed to MCA Records, we was on the same label as Bobby Brown and Patti LaBelle, Jodeci. We was walking through the same doors. As a reggae artist at that time, it was Morgan Heritage, Barrington Levy, Mystic Reveal, and Steel Pulse that got signed to MCA Records.
And Ed Robinson.
And Ed Robinson.
Ed Robinson.
Yeah. So this is the history. A lot of people don't know. So we've been doing
Shabo
was signed to
Epic. Yeah.
Epic. Yep. So it's that thing when everybody was into signing reggae artists from Jamaica. Who else was signed? Tony Rebel, Whirla Girl, Cabra,
Patra.
The Milkman, Mad Cobra was signed to somebody.
Mad Cobra
was signed to Columbia.
Yeah, that was that whole Sony Epic family.
Right.
Sylvia Rome and everybody.
Sylvia Rome, yes.
You know, Bobsy Grange was a part of that Spection crew with, Specialist, the manager.
Yes.
So it's that resurgence now, even with the resurgence of, you see a lot of these old school artists are touring again. Like, you see what happened with Mad Carver the other day, and he's still getting work, getting phone calls. Shabba Ranks is still getting phone calls. Patra was on the BET Awards, and Buster brought up.
Buster brought it out.
Super Cat. So people are now digging up the old school vibe again. But to see, how we're still here, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, sometime after that, I say, yo, when my knees hurt getting out the bed, I'm saying, yo, we still here. We still touring.
Quality
Caribbean,
over quantity.
Brad from Caribbean Entertainment still calling us saying, yo, people still want to see you guys. And I never forget the day Mojo called and said, yo, we just got added to a playlist with 175 million listeners. Like, and if we were still climbing up the same tree and not being artistically creative and taking chances and taking risks artistically, that probably would have never happened. Now there's a whole set of people saying, who the hell is Morgan Heritage? Right? And it's like, we're a new group all of a sudden. Because think between 1994 and now, you're talking almost 30 years.
30 years.
Right?
30 years, exactly.
That's a child. That's a child. Right? In college. Actually graduating college.
And have
got a
kids,
kid.
starting life.
Yeah. So
Married.
think about that. So it's a possibility that you missed out on a fan and their child.
True.
Facts.
That's just the numbers. I'm just saying. True. So when Mojo hit me with that, I'm like, wow, it worked. And we would that's just us taking risk and saying, it's like the other day I took a risk, went with country and reggae music. I was just telling a story that, hey, when we grew up making rice and peas on a Sunday, my grandma was playing Kenny Rogers.
Everybody's grandma in the Caribbean was playing country music on a Sunday.
That was it. And when I tell these stories in Nashville where I live, people are like, What? Are you serious? And it's a CM weird that you find that the music today, there's a lot of genre blending today. That's where music is going.
The lines are blurred.
It's like blurred lines right now. Nobody in the business with like, okay, yeah, man, they said, just do music now, man, just have fun. That's what I love about Chronix. He's just making some good music. Good music. And I think in that direction, I think the next big thing I want to see, that's why I'm happy to see what Burna Boy is getting such a great look. But him now just reconnecting the dots with Jamaica, which, I used to cuss him about before and say, yo, tell the people, them say, what influence you? Jamaica. People like Pata Rankin, Stonebwoy, Shatta Wally. It's reggae and dancehall. All of them. It's Buju Bounty. All these guys were the heroes.
Their whole flex is a mix between Caribbean. What Fela Kuti said, right, and what Jamaican artists would represent with the flair, the style, the arrogance. You know what I mean?
Right.
The flamboyantness. I mean, the first time we saw Jose Chameleon from Uganda, this guy had on some tall white boots. I mean, leather.
No,
in Kenya, it's hot. It's hot. There's summertime. We're talking about December, which is summertime in Kenya. And he was just not even sweating. We know, we've seen Shabba-Doo, we've seen Ninja Man, Buju, all these dope clothes, and then they don't even perspire. Just man's not hot.
No, not hot.
And he was just. We thought we were looking at Bounty Killer, like a baby Bounty Killer when we saw him step out of that vehicle.
Presence that he made.
The presence that he made. So that's what Gramps is talking about. That it's important for us with this new album, The Homeland, to highlight what it is that we're trying to achieve, and make it known that it's because of the unity in the music and the influence that it has why we are making these waves as niche genres of music on the mainstream level.
Absolutely. Cop the album. It's called The Homeland. It's out now. Of course, Morgan Heritage in the building. So you guys, when you guys decide leaving today, or you
today?
Yeah, right. You have a flight today?
Right now, headed back to the airport. But we had to do this. When our agent was like, "Yo, you want to pass through? We got a few hours on the ground." I said, absolutely. That's what it's about.
Thanks for stopping through.
Yeah, man.
That doors is always open for you guys, man.
He's here all the time. He comes through all the time. He's
anytime
he
touchdown.
Every time he touches.
We're grateful.
Yeah.
He's a 101.
Well, congratulations, y'all. Y'all doing a great thing. Get that album, y'all. It's called The Homeland.
The Homeland.
Yo, make sure you get on Spotify and, of course, iTunes and anywhere you download digital music. And hopefully you get a physical copy. I'm old school.
For sure. And I want to take this moment also to just say congratulations to the country of Guyana. The show that we did last night, it was just truly, every year, this is the first I'm knowing this, every year in Guyana, August 1st, everyone in the country, Emancipation Day, dresses up in African gear. It was like the Wakanda movie. It was crazy. I'm like,
everybody in the audience
is all dressed, and if you look sharp, you think you're in Africa, and they're enjoying themselves just a day to enjoy, like an Indian family would get up and get dressed, or a Jewish family. We need to really start celebrating our culture and where we come from. The history. So I want to employ to everybody here in those in Anguilla, because I know you're in tuned over there, in the St.Maarten, Estacia, St. Bart's, Saba. Listen, man, let's celebrate the black culture. Now they're celebrating 50 years of hip-hop. But what about 400 years of slavery that we've overcome, that we have architects and mathematicians and doctors and lawyers and engineers and radio DJs, and let's celebrate that. So to see that in Guyana last night, this was like maybe 8,000-9,000 people last night, and just to see everybody dressed in, it was like a bigger version of the Wakanda movie, right? Because they normally don't dress like that. People have them Gucci and them Nike and but everybody was in African.
Well, I've seen that when I went to Dominica for the Creole Festival, and they had World Creole Day, and everybody in Dominica is
Isn't it
dressed
beautiful,
in
the cultural wear.
Everybody's like, "Oh, this is nice,
beautiful."
And it was like a Friday. and everybody still had to like go to work and everything, but everybody went to work and everybody was dressed like that. And you walk in town in Roseau, everybody's dressed. It was like, wow, I was like, wow, this is
beautiful.
And it's important because of one simple fact. Some of the biggest fashion brands today were influenced by African textiles.
Absolutely.
And we don't even realize. We're chasing after the Gucci's and the Louis. And when you go into the history of the Masai Mara, you'll see the checkered pattern. You're like, wait a second, why are they copying Gucci?
Like
no.
Burberry, hey.
They copied us.
Our culture has influenced a lot of things.
It's not new.
Not just music and clothes,
right?
A lot of things. And I gotta say congratulations to Jamaica.
Yes.
Y'all won today.
Yes, the reggae
0-0,
girls.
the reggae girls.
Yeah, ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the bell.
They got the job done. They got the job done.
The first Caribbean nation to make it to the round of 16 in the World Cup. So congratulations to the reggae girls. They have not given up a goal yet in the World Cup.
Yes,
they have not been scored upon. That goalie, I can't remember her name right now. She is amazing.
Yeah,
she did a crazy job today against Brazil. They had so many shots on goal, and she denied
them all.
She stopped them all.
And we got to big up our sister Sadella Marley, who really put her money where her mouth is.
She's the
and
one
really stood behind these girls when no disrespect to JFF, the Football Federation, but they just didn't have the capacity to push the female team the way they pushed the male team. And she really came in with her influence and her reach and made sure that these girls had the support they need to make it here. This isn't the overnight thing. She's been doing this for almost 10 years working with these girls.
Wow. And I can't remember the girl's name from the Jamaica team, but at the end of the game, she went up to Marta. Marta, who was like the greatest female soccer player in the world for Brazil. She's the Pele of women, 6-time FIFA World Cup MVP, whatever. And she went up to her and she hugged Marta. She started crying. She's like, yo, you influenced me so much.
Powerful.
And then Marta said to her, she said, listen, I've been following you guys before you guys even got to Marta's been following Jamaica. What? She said, I've been watching you guys from the start and following you guys make it to the World Cup. She said, I've been following you guys and for you guys to Cup. But I've been following you guys. It was a big moment. They embraced and they were both crying.
I saw it, man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was crazy. Was in tears too. Yeah. Like you see, because she really took it. She put, like Mojo said, she put her money where her mouth was. Because when JFF they didn't see it as a viable thing at the time. Right. Because the Reggae Boys was the thing trying to get back to 1998.
It's always the men. It's always the men.
Right. And then the women just...
It is, but they put their money in men's sports. And they forget about the women in sports.
Correct.
And the U.S. women's soccer team has the same problem.
Yes.
They're getting a third of what the men make. Yeah. Now
that's why Ramon or whatever her name is, she took a stand and said, listen.
They all did, yeah. So
we're putting butts in the seat too. Exactly. Can we get a taste?
Price is not today's price.
Anyway, guys, I know you guys got a plane to catch.
Yes,
it's been wonderful. I see
Respect.
You got the Shatta Ken with you there, the bodyguard, always with you.
I'm gonna play a song off the album, Jimmy.
You play a song off the album?
I'm playing a song off the album.
All right, y'all. What song we going with?
This is one of my favorite ones on the album. You Got to See the World. It's one of my favorite songs.
So the video drops tomorrow.
For real?
With Eddie Kenzo.
That's one of my favorite songs on the album.
From Uganda and S. Villa from South Africa. So 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The video drops tomorrow. What a coincidence.
That's one of my favorite songs.
It was destiny. We were meant to be here. You got to see the world.